Hello, everybody, and welcome to your latest edition of the Blood Red Liverpool FC Daily Show with me, Theo Squires. A brand new mini-cast for you guys where we just talk about the main Liverpool breaking news stories of the day and the big topics. We're going to start with today's episode with Giovanni Leoni. Obviously, he was stretchered off last night in Liverpool's 2-1 victory over Southampton. Had a really encouraging debut, was playing really well, then he lands awkwardly and as the game comes to an end as he has to leave the pitch on a stretcher. It's horrible to see his game end like that. We're waiting to see how serious that injury will be. Arne Slot, he offered an update after the match at his post-match press conference. Wasn't giving too much away. We believe it's a knee injury. I know there's a bit of confusion at first about what the issue was that Leoni had suffered because he just went down off the ball almost when going off the pitch. But he's confirmed that the Italian will be sent for further assessment so they can work out the severity of it. It doesn't sound too good at the moment, but Liverpool are having to wait and see. Hopefully the assessment comes back and it's not too bad. I'll read out what Arne Slot said in the press conference. He said, of course he is down because for him it doesn't feel good immediately, but this is something now we have to assess. Normally these things don't happen in 5-10 minutes and you have to wait for tomorrow to see how he comes in and then maybe do an MRI scan so know more about how serious it is. Normally the emotions of a player tell you a lot. I saw during the weekend a player in the Dutch league who went out completely in tears and a day later it proved that he was right. Let's hope for the best. So yeah, we'll just wait and see what's happening with Giovanni Leoni. Liverpool have to send him for a scan or assess it further to see what the issue is and just how serious it will be. Obviously, if it is a serious injury, Liverpool can make changes to their Champions League squad. One single change. I think he has to be ruled out for 60 days or more before the sixth game week if Liverpool do wish to take advantage of this new rule from UEFA. And that would free them up to, say, add Federico Chiesa to the Champions League squad. So that is something to keep an eye out for. I know there's a lot of reaction to Chiesa not being in that Champions League squad in the first place, but it could be a reprieve for him. The only issue is Liverpool are obviously now short on centre-backs if Leoni is out for the foreseeable future. They've got Virgil van Dijk, they've got Ibrahima Konate, and they've got Joe Gomez. We know Konate's injury issues, we know Gomez's injury issues, and both players could be on the move, couldn't they? Gomez had interest from AC Milan and Brighton back in the summer. Konate's out of contract. He's got interest from the likes of Real Madrid. Not sure if he's going to sign a new deal or if he is going to move on. So it's something for Liverpool to consider. And that could bring you on to Marc Guéhi. I think we addressed this on the post-match podcast last night, where Liverpool, as things stand, aren't intending to go for him in January after seeing a summer move for him fall through on deadline day because they can get him on a free transfer at the end of the season. But if something changes with your centre-backs, if Leoni's out, it could be something they reconsider. We'll have to wait and see. It is worth noting, though, that in the past, Arne Slot has said he's got full faith in Liverpool's centre-back options, and they've still got Wataru Endo, Ryan Gravenberch and Andy Robertson that could play in that centre-back role as a fourth choice, fifth choice, if they really, really need it. Now, that's the negative out the way. We'll go on to something a little bit more positive now. We'll talk attacking options. We know there's backlash from Hugo Ekitike getting his silly red card, and he's going to be suspended for the game against Crystal Palace on Saturday as a result. But Liverpool do have a few attacking options to consider. Alexander Isak scored his first goal for the club last night. Could potentially now get his first Premier League start for Liverpool. We'll have to wait and see. He spoke after the game and was saying he's just focusing on getting his fitness right, getting his levels right. Addressed the fact that he was doing a warm down at half time after getting substituted, or just about as he was about to get substituted at half time. So he's getting there. The fitness levels are getting there. We saw a goal from him. Arne Slot did say that we're probably not going to see the best of him until after the October international break, but it's something for Alexander Isak to work through and work to. So we'll just have to wait and see if he does get the nod at Selhurst Park at the weekend. If not, you've got Federico Chiesa there. And we've already mentioned that he could now get a reprieve in the Champions League, but he had a very good game last night. Man of the match performance, got 2 assists, and when Arne Slot came out and said he wasn't happy with some individual performances, but Chiesa's one he was really happy with. He put in a lot of effort, was the person looking to get on the ball, looking to make things happen. So maybe he'll get a rare Premier League start at the weekend, at least. If not, he'll be an option off the bench. Like we saw him, he was left out against Everton last weekend. He's not eligible for the Champions League as things stand, but he could get a reprieve. And if he can build on those 2 assists, he's certainly got a valuable role to play for Liverpool in the weeks ahead. And that's what you want, isn't it, from the popular Italian? He got the Man of the Match award after his great display. And he stopped in the mix zone afterwards to speak to the reporters. I was there, Paul Gorst was there, our Liverpool correspondent, both home and away. And that piece has gone up on the Echo website at midday today. So there's a lot of really good stuff there as Federico Chiesa talks about what he really feels about his popular chants, how he reacted to that Champions League snub. And he also opens up on his lack of game time at Liverpool, but getting a bit more action this minute and trying to make things happen. It's a really good read. It was a really fascinating listen with him after the final whistle yesterday. So I recommend going and searching it out if you haven't already read it, because it is great to hear from Chiesa and see what he's got to say, because he is certainly a talking point, isn't he? He's a player that creates a lot of fascination, and hopefully we see a bit more of him now after that great display last night. We are live on YouTube and Facebook in association with our sponsors NordVPN. So get your comments in. I will go through a few of them now. Disappointing for Leoni. He looked quality on his Liverpool debut, says Floria. Yeah, he did. He was brilliant, wasn't he? He's so unfortunate to get that injury at the end of the game. Asim asked for an update. The worst case scenario, the fear is it could be an ACL. It seems to be his knee, but we don't know yet. They need to scan it, and we've got to wait and come back. It might not be as serious as the first thought is. Arne Slot has addressed that. You've just got to wait and see for the scan results. Hopefully it is not too bad, because it really would be a devastating blow for the young Italian if he's now out for a season with an ACL injury, especially after such an encouraging performance on his debut. Florian says Endo could step in as fourth choice. Basetic steps in and some mid-cover. The thing with Basetic is I don't believe he's back in full team training yet. He's still working on his individual levels, and he's had a lot of injury trouble, hasn't he, over the last couple of years. So he's not someone you can necessarily throw back in straight away. You'd need to tread carefully with him. Question about Mark Gay here. Is he still coming to Liverpool? We'll see. He agreed to come on deadline day. It was going to happen. Palace pulled the plug. If Liverpool want to make it happen, they have to go back to the table. Gay has to agree again. Maybe the contract they agreed before can be brought out again, but we'll have to wait and see. Lots of comments from saying where you guys are tuning in from. We've got Ghana, Zanzibar, Heart of Africa, people wishing Leoni a quick recovery. And that might be it. That might be all we've got time for this mini cast today. If you've not got any more comments coming in, yeah, we just wanted to give you a little update on Giovanni Leoni and talk through some of the big talking points from last night. Can do Hugo Ekitike as well, a little bit to finish on, I suppose. Obviously gets the winning goal, does something silly with the celebration. Second yellow card. He's obviously going to get sent off, and we now know he's suspended for the game against Crystal Palace on Saturday. Liverpool do have options to replace him, as I've already said. Isak, Chiesa. But you could also maybe go to the box midfield. That was something that we talked about on the post-match podcast yesterday. Maybe use it more for a Manchester City than you would for going Crystal Palace away. But it's certainly something to think about. Florian Wirtz and Dominic Szoboszlai as these joint number 10s. And it's good to see Liverpool do have options in attack, even though they have just potentially... they have lost... Ekitike for one game. He's had a really good start to his Liverpool career, and it was a silly mistake from him. Something Arne Slot was not happy about, as you already know if you've seen the quotes from him post-match. But it's something he'll learn from. He's still a young kid. He's probably got a little bit carried away because he loves the reception from the fans. He loves the chant, and he's had a really good start. So yeah, something for him to learn from. Hopefully we won't see it again, and he'll just be a bit more sensible next time, while still scoring lots of goals and lots of winners. That is going to be all we've got time for today on this mini cast. Thanks for joining us on your latest episode of the Blood Red Liverpool FC Daily with me, Theo Squires, brought to you by the Liverpool Echo in association with our sponsors NordVPN. I'm not sure when we'll be back on the Red channel just yet. Might try and do your normal Blood Red at the end of the week. We'll have to see who's available, because I believe producer Ian is off. And then we'll have to see who's available on desk. We'll try and bring you these daily shows, though, when we can, when there's something to talk about. And obviously, there's quite a bit to talk about today after Liverpool's win over Southampton, which brings us on nicely, actually, just before we finish. Keep an eye out for the League Cup fourth round draw tonight. We'll find out who Liverpool are going to get after knocking out Southampton, with that draw taking place after the Port Vale Arsenal game. So if you want to find out who Liverpool get, go to the Echo website and we'll tell you who's standing in the way for them next before they try and reach a third successive final. Still quite a bit of a way to go yet, but we can dream, can't we? Until next time, thank you and goodbye.